You're listening to the New World to Go podcast with your hosts, Redbyrd and BDLG.
Hello and welcome to another episode of New World to Go. This is number 29, Bordy. I found that out right before the episode. I am your host, Redbyrd, and with me is my good friend BDLG. Bordy, this is a great week to be in the business of covering New World because we're going to get lots of fun, exciting stories to talk about. What are your thoughts? Real quick, as before on the top of the episode, dude, we're going to get to play New World all week this week.
I know, it's going to be awesome, man. 10 days of New World, dude. We've been waiting for this for a long time to be able to stream it and to be able to actually produce content of our actual gameplay instead of piecing stuff together. It's going to be a fun week, man, and I'm excited. I'm ready to get in there. I really wish this was release week versus preview week, but that's okay. We'll get a better polished release later on, and I'm just happy that we're getting a preview, man. You know, it's going to be a fun week.
Yes, I'm happy that we're going to get to play the game and talk about it with other people without any restriction. That's my main thing because, you know, when people know you create content or have a podcast for the web, for the game, they want to come to you and they want to try to ask questions. Hey, man, what's the combat like? Hey, man, is the game fun? Hey, man, you know, they ask you all these questions trying to tempt you to break the NDA, and you always got to dance around it to make sure everything's fine. But not anymore, Bordy. We get to be as blunt and as open about the game as we want to. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the preview event. Obviously, we're going to go into some of the recent announcements surrounding the game about their content creation support, Bordy. We were pretty excited to hear about that. And then they made a recent post about overworld bosses and the diversity there and why those zones that house these bosses are important within New World. So we're going to talk about that as well. So, Bordy, off the jump, we're going to talk about the New World preview event. So it starts August 25th, and we figured this up, Bordy, and I'm going to let you take the reins here because, you know, this is ongoing education for you. What time does the game launch around the United States?
9 a.m. PT.
Okay, and what
which
time?
Would be 12 p.m. ET,
Okay,
and that would be 11 a.m. CT.
Perfect. Good job, Bordy.
Boom.
Yes. So you've
Boom.
heard it here
Nailed it.
first.
Nailed it.
Now, what time is Mountain Time?
I don't know.
10 a.m. So you guys, if you live across America or all across America, those are the times that you'll be able to play New World on Tuesdays. So EU times, you're going to have to talk to our buddy Taken because we can barely remember NA times. You definitely check the clock. Make sure it could be, I guess, Wednesday for people, right? Or Monday.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, that's a potential. Potentially, it could be those times for you. So definitely check it out. But you guys are probably much smarter than me, and you're definitely smarter than Bordy when it comes to time zones. So definitely check it out. 9 o'clock Pacific Daylight Savings Time is when the game launches. It'll be available to Steam and through, I guess, the New World launch. Or no, every player will play through Steam, right?
There is no Amazon.
Yeah,
launcher.
when you buy from Amazon, you will still get a Steam code. So one of the important things to note too is you haven't pre-ordered New World yet, and you decide to pre-order it the day of, you will get access immediately to this early access client. And they did mention that even through the event, as you see people streaming, me and BDLG will be streaming. Taken, our buddy that works on New World Fans, he'll be streaming. If you come to our streams and you like what you see, you can then pre-order the game and immediately gain access to New World. So it's going to be a cool time, Bordy, to see, again, people's reactions to the game. They'll get an extended look at the game. When does it end, Bordy? What day?
September the 4th, I think.
September the 4th.
Yep,
So that
September
is 10
the 4th.
days, almost 11 days. Well, no, what the heck? Yes. 10 days or 11 days of New World, Bordy, that people are going to get to experience.
Yeah, 10.
And you know people are going to be grinding it out, and they're going to hit max level in that 10 days. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man, for sure. I think we should probably go over the chart right here, Red, that shows when people are getting in on the exact days, because there are some waves that are getting sent out for people that didn't pre-order the game.
Okay, why don't you do that real quick as I try to find it?
Yeah. So the alpha testers, so anyone who received a key to participate in alpha that did not pre-order the game, there will be waves sent out. There's waves 1 through 5, and you'll get a key anywhere from August 25th to 29th to participate in the event. If you signed up for beta, anybody who signed up for beta prior to July 9th will get a key in their email anywhere from August 25th to August 29th. So anyone who has pre-ordered the game will get in on wave 1, which is August 25th. And then anyone who pre-orders during the event will get in on the day they pre-order the game during the event. Now, one thing I do want to talk about real quick, though, because I see a lot of people asking about this, and this episode will air on Monday, which is the day before the event starts, is that if you pre-ordered the game, you are not going to get an email that tells you your Steam code to install the game. If you pre-ordered the game, you will automatically have added to your Steam library a game titled New World Preview that you can install and play. So don't be stressing over not receiving an email, because I've seen a lot of people that are asking that question. And in our Discord, there's been a few people asking that. You're not going to get an email if you pre-ordered. It'll just automatically show up in your Steam library. So I think that's important for people to know.
That's a good point, Bordy. And I was one of those people. I didn't want to type in the Discord, obviously, to create some kind of discourse or unsettlement in there. But I was like, where's my email at? You know what I mean? But then I went to Steam, and lo and behold, there it was, man. It's downloading. Yeah. So definitely check that out. And again, there is no other launcher. So if you choose to buy it through Amazon versus Steam, you will still be launching from Steam. All right, Bordy. So we have a lot of cool things that they've kind of been bringing out or addressing for New World and the surrounding basically. Well, we're gonna get right down to content creators, and specifically, they sent out a bunch of care packages for different content creators all over Twitch and YouTube. That included a mask, a hat, etc. All these cool looking merch and swag that they sent out to these people that were posting it all over Twitter. So they've started their campaign, Bordy, for what they're kind of calling is their content creator system, or they're going to have different people representing them in that space for content creation. So Bordy, it's nice to finally hear, because we also work with other games on our different websites, that now New World is going to have a system in place for content creators.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And unfortunately, we didn't receive any swag, so we're gonna have to earn our spot there. But it was cool. I mean, to see them actually reaching out and finally doing some kind of publicity for content creators, because as we've discussed multiple times before on the show, content creators oftentimes drive they do drive a lot of sales to your game, and garner a lot of basically free attention to your game. So I think anytime developers support that, and they should, I think, and obviously I'm a little biased because we are content creators, but I think that it's a smart play on their end. And so I've been waiting for something like this to happen, and they did. They finally released it, and I think they're releasing it now because this preview event is not going to be under NDA. So now, Obviously, they want to be partnering with other content creators to help push their game, which I think is a great call. So it was cool to see those swag packages get sent out. And if you're interested in the creator program, you can just go to newworld.com. There's a link at the top of their page that says creator program. You can just sign up for it there. And then hopefully we'll be able to partner with them at some point in the future, man.
Hey, man, I'm looking forward to it. This is great. The great step forward in managing your community is getting some content creators on board to help promote and play your game. And I think we'll see a lot of people playing New World during this preview event. Again, the NDA is lifted, and a lot of people are going to be able to create content and stream it, and create YouTube videos about everything. More specifically, New World Fans, our website with me, you, and Taken. We're going to have a lot of new guides up there for you. We also have a lot of other things in store that we can't really talk about right now, but they will be available on the day that New World opens up and the NDA drops. So definitely check out New World Fans over there. So Bordy, they've recently made a tweet, I think it was even today, about open or overworld bosses. This is something we've discussed briefly on the podcast, but since they brought it up and showed us some of these cool looking pictures of these bosses that they have, we're going to talk a little bit about open world bosses today and how they will kind of affect New World and how they'll be used within the the economy system and the PvP system inside of New World. So, New World went to Twitter today and mentioned that these open world zones, or including these open world bosses, are going to be an intricate part of the game and the gameplay as you explore the world of Eternum. And they showed us some angry Earth-looking bosses, some demonic, corrupted-looking bosses. And dude, it gets your juices flowing, man, because it's awesome to think that all these things are fleshed out, and we're going to get to experience these things on Tuesday. So, Bordy, as you kind of think about how New World kind of aims to be an open world MMO, or at least as far as we know, what are your first thoughts on these open world bosses and how they'll affect the overall gameplay inside of New World?
Yeah, I like them, man. I think the more types of content you can put in like this, the better. These look like they could be, in-game style bosses. Who knows? Hopefully they'll be kind of mid-game to give those people something to do as well. So we do know that one of the reasons they delayed the game was to focus on additional content for the game, and I think these are definitely a step in the right direction. These aren't full-blown dungeons or anything, but open world bosses obviously provide some diversity to gameplay and something to go do, especially if they're dropping some kind of rare material or rare armor or something, which I hope is the case, to give people a reason to go grind these bosses out, and to give this also not only to grind it out for some rare material to sell in the marketplace or to kind of pump the economy up a little bit, but also a possibly a PvP hotspot too for people to go fight at. So I think these points of interest like this, the more the better, and it's exciting because it looks like these are going to be in for the preview event because they hashtagged it New World Preview. So I would think that these 4 bosses here will be available.
Yeah, and you make good points because, in an open world setting and having these points of interest that draw, players from all over the server too, you look at what that can kind of create. And one of the main things I think in a game like New World, when they kind of have this flagging system for PvP, is a point of interest that you would hope to create some kind of conflict around. Now, it kind of does complicate things a little bit, considering most people don't have to flag to go and farm these bosses or try to get the loot that's obtained here. But you do mention a really good point about being part of the economy, as far as like maybe these open world bosses drop rare items that you can't get from any other boss, or maybe these are like particular like quest events or quest objectives that you have to go kill, go find and locate and kill this open world boss. There's tons of things that they can do with these, but it'll be interesting to see, like you said, will there be a diverse difficulty within the open world boss section of the game? Will there be like level 17 open world bosses versus are all of them going to be like, more in-game bosses? And we'll see, because like you mentioned, New World, kind of we think it was delayed because of the, adding more content like this to the game. So what are your thoughts, especially with the flagging PvP system? How much can they involve the importance of these open world bosses when there is no, like, there can't be any direct conflict over them if no one's flagging?
Yeah, that's going to be real challenging, and I don't think they can utilize these specifically for PvP hotspots. I just think that naturally sometimes that's going to occur, but obviously not all of the time, because I'm one of those players that's going to be flagged up 100% of the time, man. Once I hit level 10 in the preview event, you best believe I'm going to be flagged up, and I'm going to be PvPing as much as humanly possible. So I think that there will be players that go farm these things that you can find that are flagged up. So sometimes there will be encounters there, but you're right. It's not going to be something that they can just say, hey, this is a PvP hotspot, because the game doesn't work that way. So I'm not sure it's going to promote that in a ton, but at least it's a point of interest to pull players there so that that, hey, there's going to be people here at this spot. Hopefully they're flagged for PvP, and then you can try to go, ruin their day, which is always fun.
Yes, and you think, one of the main things that kind of people look towards in these open world boss things, or at least like, in games like World of Warcraft and ESO and stuff, there's a unique item or something that you can gain from this boss that you can only gain here. So that kind of it creates a point of interest that people will seek out if they're looking for a particular piece of item. Now, maybe there might be some type of, and this kind of goes back to the player-driven economy or aspect of the game. Maybe there's a particular crafting resource that you can only obtain through this open world boss. So if you need this fire jewel or whatever that you need to create like an enchantment on your fire sword, then you have to go to kill this open world boss to get that item. I can see them doing something like that for sure. Another one like a unique named weapon or piece of armor that you can only obtain through this boss, or a legendary something like that, is also something they can do as well. So it'll be cool to see what approach they take in this venue as far as this subsection of the game. But I think this is a very important one, Bordy, for them to nail, because they do kind of pitch Eternum to be a big open world experience for players. So these having points of interest like open world bosses are going to be very important for the content of the game.
Absolutely, man. And I hope that I hope that players get into the game and they get to experience some of these aspects and get hooked on it, so that whenever it releases, man, it's just going to have an overall positive vibe to the game. And I hope that the mindset shifts after this preview event from there's a lot of people bashing the game, and I hope that it shifts from a bashing the game to holy crap, this game is really good. And it shifts more in that direction. Like, oh man, they're right. All they are missing is a little bit of content, and this game is going to be amazing. And I hope we see that over the course of this preview event, man.
Yeah, and I think we can't go into specifics, but I think both of us feel the same way, or that way about the game. Where I through my time through the alpha thoroughly enjoyed a lot of aspects of New World, and it'll be cool to see other people come in there and give their 2 cents about their experience, because I think overwhelmingly, or at least from what most people said, it was very positive for that testing event that they had recently. To see they let in a large group of people, and generally most of it was positive. The feedback they were receiving, and it'll be good for the developer, even if we can kind of bridge that assumption. For them to hear the positive feedback from the players and what people do really like about the game, so where they can, focus on the things that maybe, like you said, just adding a little bit of content or a flavor within the world to keep people entertained for the months to come as New World launches and kind of becomes an active MMO.
Yeah, and I think that you made a good point there, that they're looking for a lot of feedback too. So specifically on the forums. So they also posted a link on their news section on newworld.com. So if you go to newworld.com, click on news, there's a couple of things here that it's probably worth noting for the preview event specifically. Is the first one you'll see there's forum account creation. So if you're getting into the preview event and playing, I highly recommend you go over there and create a forum account. And if there's something about the game you see that you like or that you don't like, go provide your feedback so they know where to take this game, because I think they're looking for that. They want to make a game for the players. So I'm sure they'll take that feedback into consideration and see what they can do with it. And then the other one is in-game support. So there's also a link under their news section on newworld.com about in-game support. So if you have issues during the event, there's a little bit of maybe an FAQ over there, and then some tips as to how to get your game to run better if you're having issues. And I think there's a support email that you can email if you're having issues with the game. So just wanted to mention those real quick too before we kind of went any further.
Yeah, and let me and BDLG as your friends, as your colleagues when it comes to enjoying MMOs. Let us go ahead and just give you the recommendation. Don't recommend that they restore the game to the old open world PvP full loot state, because it's not productive. They're not going to do that. They don't want to do that. So stop saying that. You know what I mean? That's my advice to you. And it's my 2 cents. Let's be productive as a community and move the game forward with productive criticisms and things to help make the game better, because they have crossed that bridge already. They do not want to go down that path, and quite frankly, I think it's a good choice for them to kind of get away from that and kind of try to include a larger audience, one that is more intrigued in the overall offers of a general MMO that a general MMO can provide. So that's just one thing that I as your friend, as your Uncle Redbird, let me give you that little bit of advice as we move into the alpha testing.
I agree, man. I think that's wise advice from your sage Redbird here, because you're right, man. That's going to do nothing but make people angry, I think, at the end of the day, and provide a lot of controversy within the forums. So probably best to stay away from that topic, because I think you're right. I don't think that they're going to ever bring that back, which is fine. And I agree with your statement that I think it is better for the overall health of the game. Now, this is coming from the dude who wanted open world PvP or full loop PvP to begin with. And we've talked about that multiple times on other episodes, but I do think that we should move past that at this point. And there is other aspects of the game that I'm sure you could provide constructive criticism on, and I think that's probably more likely to get heard than griping about the PvP situation.
Yeah, and I don't think it's productive at this point. They've mentioned that they don't want to go down that route, and they've been pretty firm about that. So like to just bounce your head off the wall, or it'd be more productive for you to go to your bedroom or bathroom, go to that mirror, and then talk to yourself about open world PvP. Because that's what it's going to be like, with the devs. Because honestly, again, I think they made the right decision, and they do too. So, we've heard enough of that, and as a community, I think it's best to move forward in that. So, Bordy, dude, quick announcement to you guys. Next week, I know we're on an every other week pattern because of the delay of the game, but next week, you'll hear another episode of New World to Go, so look for that. Episode 30, Bordy.
Yeah.
Yo, dude. 3-0 next week.
I can't wait for that episode either, because that's going to give us a chance to actually talk about our experiences in New World, and actually talk about what we've been doing. So that leads me to one more question before we kind of wrap this thing up, Red, is what are your goals for the preview event? Like, what are you going to try to do? Are you going to try to grind out to max level? Are you going to try to, are we going to try to gather the guild to get a to take over a territory, which I think we should totally do. Or what are you going to do in game? Like, what's your plans?
Absolutely, 100%. My goal, my only goal, or my biggest goal within this event is just to play with my friends, man. Because I've been stuck playing with you for 3 months, hey, dude, and I want to like experience it with people that I like. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited to get in there in the Discord and play with everybody in our company. And get in there and experience a tournament with them. And then also, like you said, I want to get the company together, man. I want to go take a territory, a nice little island, lush territory, and we can all hang out there and defend it throughout this little bit of a testing period. It's going to be good, dude. I'm excited, man, and I think everybody in the Discord is too.
I mean, dude, that was a pretty rough shot right there. You know what I mean? I don't know why you would say, like, you just said that we're not friends. Like, is that, I don't even.
I mean, I didn't say that, dude.
You did say that.
And I didn't directly say that. No.
That's all right, dude. Hey,
you're reading into my comments.
Hey, that's okay, man. That's okay. Hopefully they'll add duels into the game, and then I can just beat you into the dirt, dude, and then we'll call it even. Okay, how about that? Done.
I mean, the least I can do is let you live in the delusion, so I'm just going to let that go. Okay. And I'm going to let you tell people where they can find you on the internet.
I'm a little... Okay. All right. Let's wrap it up. All right. You can find me over at twitch.tv/BDLG. On Twitter is twitter.com/thebdlg. There's a the in front of that one. And there's a the in front of the BDLG at YouTube. So it's youtube.com/thebdlg. And we will be pumping out a ton of videos, ton of guides on our YouTube channels, and then of course over at newworldfans.com. If you're interested in any of the other MMOs we're creating, go check out studioloot.com. This falls under that umbrella as well. So New World Fans in particular, though, we have got a lot of exciting things coming your way. I think Taken, he's kind of a wizard over there, man. He's got some pretty amazing tools headed you guys' way that I think you're going to be real happy about whenever you go over there and check this out after the preview event releases.
Dude, we got to give Taken deserves as much credit as we can give out. He's a saint for putting up with me and you. I know that for sure.
Putting up with you, not me. I'm pretty.
I can't deny that. You know what I mean? I'm a big pain in the rear end for sometimes. And so, like he's awesome, man. He is extremely interested in the game, like we are. We got a lot of cool things coming, New World Fans. So don't miss out on that Tuesday. when the game drops. What time, Bordy?
9 a.m. PT,
Okay.
which is 11 a.m. for us.
That's exactly
CT,
right.
Which is 12 p.m. ET and 10 a.m. MT.
There we go. Go wherever you live, go check out New World Fans at that time, because we'll have all of this crazy amount of content for you guys. Tools. I'm gonna hit like a little hint in there. You know what I'm saying? Information. It'll all be there, guys. So go check that out. We're excited to be finally playing New World with you. Come join our Discord. Come join the company, and we're gonna go and we're gonna take over the map. Whatever server we go into, it's gonna be all purple. It's gonna be all the Revenant. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, and I'm gonna be the mayor or the governor.
No.
Yes,
No,
that's all we have today.
No.
Yes.
No.
We'll see. We'll fight for it.
Okay.
In real life or in game? Because
Either
you'll
one,
probably
dude.
destroy me in real life, so we got to do it in a video game. You're like a couple feet taller than me. You're some kind of giant. So we'll leave it there. So come join us, play New World with us. We're excited again to be part of this community, and we're excited to be playing New World this week on Tuesday. We'll see you next week on Sunday for another episode of New World to Go.